one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Give your sweetheart an experience rather than a gift, like a night out for dinner or a couple's massage. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
95.7 The Game is an equal opportunity employer, and we encourage local community organizations to refer qualified applicants to us. You can receive The Game and Odyssey job vacancy information by contacting Human Resources at 415-765-4011 or by emailing sfhr@odyssey.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning, area.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
Oh, yes. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And man, we have an action-packed show for you today. NBA trade deadline. It's already heating up, folks. And we have 7 hours to go still. Will the Warriors need to get their name involved? Well, they better, because the Phoenix Suns are acquiring Kevin freaking Durant. Welcome in, everybody. 888-957-9570. This is the Pregame Show. I am Joe Spadoni, and that is the number, 888-957-9570. Xfinity mobile text line, YouTube, hello. Hit me up on Twitter, @Spadoni_Joe. Man, Woj bomb after bomb after bomb yesterday. Started early in the afternoon, well, late afternoon, I guess. I was at little guys' basketball practice. It's always an adventure with a bunch of 3-year-olds. Kind of wasn't into it yesterday, but that's fine. Finished strong at a layup line. But getting into the car, and then you see the Lakers acquiring D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley in exchange for a first-round pick. Russell Westbrook, who is headed to Utah, and Mike Conley headed to Minnesota. So that started it all off. Then, after the Warriors fall in Portland, 125-122, and we'll hear from Steve Kerr about that loss, the Warriors just can't seem to stack wins together consistently, especially on the road. Now 7-21 away from Chase Center. That's been a theme all season long. They'll get back in action against those new-look Lakers this Saturday at Chase Center. That should be a fun matchup. D'Angelo Russell returning to play the Golden State Warriors. But after that game last night in Portland, trying to go to sleep, phone keeps flashing. I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm in a lot of show chats, as you know, Willard Dibbs, Morning Roast. Still in Steiny and Goo. They just can't get rid of me. They like my Laker takes, I guess. But you see the Woj bomb. Kevin Durant headed to Phoenix. And is this how the West was won? Is this the move? Because right now, the way I look at it, they're the team to beat in the West. Full stop right there. And here are the details. Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 4 unprotected future first-round picks. That was per Adrian Wojnarowski, and TJ Warren also included in the deal with Kevin Durant headed to the Phoenix Suns. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. I need to ask you this, Dub Nation. Are the Suns now the team to beat in the West? And is there a move the Warriors can make today that would make you feel better about your chances? Because as I see it, right now, they are the team to beat in the West. It's how Vegas sees it. Go to Bet Rivers right now. Go to NBA Futures. Still the Boston Celtics plus 340 to win it all. Then right after them, Phoenix Suns plus 450, followed by Milwaukee, Denver, Sixers, Clippers, and Memphis and Warriors tied with the 7th best odds at plus 1400. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Is there a move out there, Warriors fans? Is there? Or you just got to stand pat? I know a lot of people were thinking Jared Vanderbilt. Well, he's going to the Lakers. What other names are out there that are being floated? Kyle Kuzma? Jakob Poeltl? No. Jakob Poeltl, mini Woj bomb right before that Kevin Durant news. He's heading up to Toronto where he was drafted and exchanged in that Kawhi Leonard deal years ago. So Jakob Poeltl going to Toronto. Who else is out there? Kyle Kuzma? That's a name. Freddie Van Vliet? Or does that Poeltl trade signal that the Raptors aren't blowing it up? OG Anunoby. You heard Woj a lot last night if you were watching ESPN. That's a guy that market is going to be heating up very quickly. He's a guy that could guard multiple positions. Not to be confused with his brother AJ Anunoby, who Matt Steinmetz is a huge fan of. But what's the move, Warriors fan? Is there a move? Because the Suns are going all in right now. They're going all in, putting their chips all on the table. And there's no bigger chip than Kevin freaking Durant. And the Suns just got a new owner. Bye-bye, Robert Sarver. Hello, Matt Ishbia. And that's a hell of a way to ingratiate yourself to a new fan base. Warriors fans know a lot about that. Joe Lacob, guy likes to swing for the fence. Were the Warriors in on the Kevin Durant? Were they in on that? I hope they were. I hope they at least made a call. I'm sure we'll find out eventually, but was it ultimately the Nets being that's the best package? Was it talking with Kevin Durant? Was it working with him? I doubt it. At this point, that whole relationship is probably not the best anyways. Kevin Durant obviously made his intentions clear last offseason. He wanted to be out of there. They didn't move him. Nets were playing well. They were playing well. Then Kyrie, he's not happy. He's off in Dallas now with the Mavericks, getting a win, looking great, by the way. No Luka, no problem. And now Kevin Durant gets what he wanted, goes to a contender, and goes to the now Western Conference favorite in the Phoenix Suns. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. YouTube, hello. Jonathan on the YouTube chat. Jonathan Lundeen. Kind of like that last name, Lundeen. This just isn't the Warriors' year. Injuries, blowing games, and management can't improve this average team. Yeah, they're hovering around 500. So if you want to just go by the record, they are average. They just can't seem to build enough momentum one way or another. They're just stuck in the middle with you. And can they make a splash today? They're known for the Splash Bros. It's the city by the bay. Joe Lacob, light years. Can they make a splash move today that makes you feel more confident in their chances to compete in this West now that Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun? So let me know. 888-957-9570. 510. Suns are relying on an injury-prone core. So things are possible to change. But barring injury, no one in the West beats that team. Warriors need to keep the young guys. No reason to make a move. Okay. Stand pat, do nothing. It's an interesting sentiment. I think some Warriors fans also share those same thoughts. James Wiseman, is that experiment finally going to be over? He's not playing much. He's healthy. He's a big body on a team that could use some bigs that's not playing much. So can you try to get something for him? Is his value so low now that it's not even worth it? Do you keep him? Moses Moody, what do you do with him? There's a lot of interesting question marks and stuff that is going to be answered in the next 7 hours. Again, NBA trade deadline. We'll have all that coverage right here all day. 95.7 The Game, breaking down all the big trades leading up to it. We'll have that crosstalk with Willard Dibbs, Steiny, and Goo. As it ends, you'll see some of those trades, I'm sure, filtering in and out throughout the day, and we'll be breaking it down right here, 95.7 The Game. Tim Kawakami in studio with Bonte and Chasky. Cannot wait for that. 8-9. That should be a lot of fun to hear what he has to say. Ernie Chavez on the YouTube chat. Hello, Ernie. Good morning to you as well. A lot to break down. Not a lot of time to do it. So 888-957-9570. Is there a move the Warriors can make that would make you feel better about their chances in the West now that the Suns acquired Kevin freaking Durant? And bye-bye to the experiment that was the Brooklyn Nets. Less than 4 years ago, about 3.5 years ago now, right? James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin freaking Durant. Oh, no one's beating this team. This is the matchup. And then you had the Lakers, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis. This is how many times are these two teams going to play in the NBA Finals? How about 0? You got to get there first, and neither of them are going to do that. So both those teams making trades in different ways. Nets, they're blowing it all up. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Joe Tsai, he's seen enough. Sean Marks, okay. We'll do the 4 unprotected first-round picks. We'll take Bridges, a young guy. We'll take Cam Johnson, a young guy. And we'll lock and load and see what we can do in the future. I like that move for both teams. If you're the Suns, I love it. Chris Paul, this is your last chance, buddy. It's your last chance at a title. And I'm sure Warriors fans would gladly watch you lose again. And I'm sure a lot of them would gladly watch Kevin Durant lose again. Were the Warriors in on Kevin Durant? I hope they made the call. I'm hoping they did. And the Suns obviously probably had the better package overall. But can't knock it unless you try it, right? Ernie Chavez, that's what's crazy about the Nets blowing it up. They were 5th in the East. They were. But I think they saw the writing on the table, right? Kyrie, he ain't going anywhere. Kevin Durant, he's old. He's looking to win titles now. He's not going to do that in this Eastern Conference. In an Eastern Conference that's finally, in the first time, I think in my lifetime, at least in the last 20 years, that the Eastern Conference is now better than the Western Conference. As far as the top tier teams in the league, got the Bucks and you got the Celtics. Those are the 2 best teams in the league. And now the Suns, obviously. So maybe the balance is shifted. But even in the West, I'm not trusting the Nuggets. I'm not trusting the Clippers, who just lost to the Luka-less and Kyrie-led Dallas Mavericks. I don't trust that. How can I trust the Golden State Warriors? How can I trust them right now? They're a 500 team. Stephen Curry, the best player on earth, is hurt. How can I trust them when they have sloppy turnovers like they did last night and lose to the Blazers 125-122? And it was just fouls, sloppiness, not taking layups, not shooting the threes. Check that. Shooting the threes when he shouldn't have shot the threes. There are some good things and a lot of bad things. And that just seems to be the case far too often for the Warriors this season. There's a lot of good. Jordan Poole, a lot of good. DiVincenzo, guy's a baller. But a lot of bad, too, to go with it. Again, evening out. Thanos, perfectly balanced at all things should be. Well, that's the Warriors season, but it's balanced with both good and bad. Here's Steve Kerr last night talking about the early fouls forcing a change in the rotation.
Well, Loon's early fouls hurt us and changed our rotation a little bit, and he just never got going. Obviously, he takes care of a lot of that for us. So the game became a small one, and we were kind of swimming upstream for much of the first half. Closed the half really well, but never could really get to our 2 big lineup with Draymond and Loon. That's the lineup that commands the fort for us. So it just felt like the game was just a track meet, and they made more free throws than we made threes, and that was the difference.
Absolutely. Just a lot of fouls, a lot of dumb fouls, silly fouls. And credit to the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, Jeremy Grant, who always seems to play well against the Warriors. He's improved mightily in his career. I was listening to the broadcast with Klenna and Fitz, and Klenna was making a great point about his strides in his career. But again, you got to fix those reach-in fouls. And how do you do that, Steve Kerr?
Some of them you can't fix, but the ones that are fixable, we got to fix. We can't reach. We had some reaching fouls when they're in the bonus. There's going to be fouls in the game, but we committed too many, I thought, that we didn't need to commit. And it's a huge, like I said, it's just a huge difference to make up for that kind of disparity.
Huge disparity. Massive. And that was the difference. All those free throw shots, free throw attempts for the Portland Trailblazers, 31 of 32, juxtaposed out with the Warriors, 9 of 10. They were 21 of 49 from three-point land, but again, when you shoot that many free throws, as the opposing team did, you're not going to win that many games. And didn't happen last night, and the Warriors are back in action this Saturday. Chase Center, new look Lake Show coming into town. Warriors, Lakers, both desperate to win. The action's going to start ramping up here, folks. After this All-Star break, and hell, heading into this All-Star break, you're going to start seeing this West get very, very competitive in a very, very fast way. Are the Warriors going to toss their hat into the NBA trade deadline action? We have 6 hours, 45 minutes to go. 888-957-9570. Is there a move you would like to see this team make? From the 925 on the Xfinity mobile text line. Make a move, don't make a move. Warriors don't make playoffs. Okay. A cynic here. Big cynic myself. Could blame my father, Bob Spadoni, for my always negative viewing of my favorite teams, but I get it. What have the Warriors shown you that can make you feel confident about their chances this season? They've shown you flashes, sure. Consistency? No. And now you got a team in the Phoenix Suns and a player that's been there and done that you know well, and Kevin freaking Durant. Pair him. And they didn't have, that's the thing with this Suns trade. They didn't have to get rid of an Ayton or a Booker. Hell, they still got their Chris Paul, their old man. Will they stay healthy? We'll see. But right now, they are the clear-cut team to beat in the Western Conference. It's not even close. And is there a move the Warriors can make to battle them? Steph Curry, what's he going to be like when he comes back? Draymond, he's been playing well. Klay didn't have a great second half, but he's been playing better, a lot better. One of the best months of his career coming out of January. Wiggins seems like he's figuring it out. DiVincenzo's been a revelation the last few months. So I'm not ready to bury the Golden State Warriors just yet, but it's scary hours right now. It absolutely is scary hours if you're a Golden State Warrior fan. Kevin Durant is no joke. Devin Booker is no joke. DeAndre Ayton is no joke. And as much as we like to think as Chris Paul is a punchline year in and year out every time he doesn't make the finals, guy's a future Hall of Famer. And the antics might be annoying and stuff like that. But give him a guy like Kevin Durant, just see how much his play is going to be elevated. Adrian Wojnarowski joined Scott Van Pelt last night on ESPN, and he broke down the Phoenix Suns acquiring Kevin Durant. Take a listen.
After the Kyrie Irving trade last week, the conversations between Kevin Durant and Joe Tsai, the owner in Brooklyn, Sean Marks, their GM, they started to move toward the idea that if there was a deal that could be done in Phoenix, that Kevin Durant would certainly be open to it, and I think even eager for it. And Matt Ishbia, the new owner in Phoenix, who just was approved last week, he wanted to get Kevin Durant. They tried to do this deal without Mikal Bridges. That wasn't going to happen. And there was back and forth yesterday and then tonight. And there was a thought tonight that maybe they would carry this conversation over to tomorrow. The Suns were looking at some other trades out in the marketplace. But what got it done, Mikal Bridges in this deal, 4 unprotected first-round picks, a pick swap, all going back to the Nets for Kevin Durant. And just a remarkable deal for the Suns. Now they pair Kevin Durant with Devin Booker and certainly Chris Paul. And this is a team in the desert that certainly is going to have some immediate championship aspirations. And Finally, the Brooklyn Nets, that great experiment, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, it is finally over. And this is an organization that is ready to hit the reset button. You know, they get back in the multiple picks here. But I think Matt Ishbia, the new owner in Phoenix, he wanted to come in and make a splash, and he's done it. Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun.
That's Woj there on Scott Van Pelt, ESPN. And man, that is a great way to ingratiate yourself to a fan base. Make a big splash. And I remember way back, we're going decade plus now, way back. But who was it? Prokhorov? I think that's what his name was for the Brooklyn Nets before he ended up selling the team. But he made the big splash for Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry, right? You remember that one? Yeah, it was Prokhorov. Mikhail Prokhorov, the Russian. And he had all those videos of him on his yacht and his jet ski and just so over the top. But you just think about the Nets. They've always tried to make the big splash, and they thought they made the biggest when they won the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. He left Golden State. Reasons are his own. He wanted to be his own guy, be his own man. He wanted to build his own super team. Well, it didn't work. Doesn't always work. We talked about that yesterday. Super teams rarely do. Only been a handful of times when it did. Miami Heat, Golden State Warriors. If you want to toss in the Lakers in that bubble championship with AD, but that was more of just a dynamic duo than a bona fide super team. But now, the Phoenix Suns. They are a super team. Devin Booker, superstar. Chris Paul, future Hall of Famer. DeAndre Ayton, one of the best big men in the league. He's an all-star. And now Kevin Durant, future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA, top 15 player of all time. He is a Phoenix Sun. Your thoughts, 888-957-9570. Xfinity Mobile text line 650. Durant is great, but this isn't the Durant who won titles with the Warriors. Paul is old. Also not so sure the Suns should be the favorites. Who should be the favorites then, 650? Who? The Nuggets? You trust that team? I don't. Listen, they're having a great season, but we've seen this multiple times in the past. Their defense wanes in the playoffs, and that gets exposed. Memphis? Can't take a team with Dylan Brooks seriously. John Morant, that antic. Please. They've been so shook since Shannon Sharp. They don't know what to do. LTB? Kings? They're fun. They may not know any better than just to keep winning, so we'll see with them. Mavericks are intriguing. Kyrie Irving. Can't wait for that matchup. Mavs Suns, March 5th. Get after it. Clippers, again, I think you guys know how I feel about them. Fraudulent. And then the Warriors. Do you have faith in this Warriors team if they don't make a move today? Should they make a move? What is that move? Pirtle, he's gone. Vanderbilt, he's gone. Jay Crowder, is that the move now? Do you pivot? Do you call the Brooklyn Nets? Listen, you knew the Suns weren't going to trade him to you, but the Nets will. I don't care. I'm trying to get assets now. Jay Crowder, is that the move? Is that the missing link? Let me know at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. I would make the call. Absolutely. Couldn't hurt. Need a rotational piece. You heard Anthony Slater on earlier this week with the Morning Roast, Bonte and Shasky. And by the way, they have Tim Kawakami joining them in studio today. Talk about this trade deadline, talk about Super Bowl, Niners, all that sort of stuff. And by the way, the NBA knew what it was doing putting the trade deadline during Super Bowl week, right? They absolutely had to have known this could have been a possibility. And right now, the NBA is stealing the storylines in the NFL this week. Roger Goodell can't be too happy about that. The owners can't be too happy about that. But you know what? Big dub for NBA. We're going to be talking about it all day. And it started last night with the Phoenix Suns acquiring Kevin freaking Durant. But Anthony Slater, who was on the Morning Roast this week, he mentioned that the Warriors are in need of a rotational piece, a piece that they can feel good about closing games potentially, that could feel good about on the defensive end, Jay Crowder fits some of those boxes, right? Wouldn't be mad at that. Feel better. I still think the Suns are not miles ahead of everyone currently, but they're a step ahead of one. They're a step. If they're up on the staircase right now, they are all halfway up the rest of the league in the West, barring maybe the Nuggets, who are a couple steps behind. Everyone else is 8 or 9 steps behind them. On the staircase. You can move up with the move today if you're the Golden State Warriors. You could absolutely move up. And maybe it's just a Stairmaster and it's just never going to be ending for the Warriors this season. They're just going to be 500, losing the play-in game. I know it's a sentiment with a lot of fans. It's frustrating because one night you look great against the Thunder. Like, oh, this team's going to be fine. Then you lose like you did against the Blazers last night. Foul happy. Sloppy towards the end. And then while you're licking your wounds, taking your ice bath, having your beer, trying to relax at 10 o'clock at night, you get the notification. Oh, great. Chris freaking Paul's getting help in Phoenix. Kevin Durant. Ugh. It's got to sting. But I think if you're the Warriors and Bob Myers, you could lessen that sting and take away some of that pain with a move today. I think they absolutely can. I think it's in the realm of possibility. And again, we'll relay any information that comes out. YouTube chat's on fire. Hello, guys. How you doing? You can always hit me up on YouTube, Twitch, hello. Twitter, @Spadoni_Joe. This is the pregame show. I am Joe Spadoni. We're going to take a quick break here in a few, but hello, YouTube. Trade for Jay Crowder and Ben Simmons. That's from AK66GS. Trade for Jay Crowder and Ben Simmons. I don't know how willing the Nets are to part with Ben Simmons. It would be intriguing. I'm listening. Ben Simmons is a very interesting name. Very intriguing. I know all the memes, all the jokes about him. One of the problems with Ben Simmons is his attitude. Kevin Durant was vibing with him, and I know Kevin Durant isn't the end-all, be-all on attitude. We know that. But some of the immaturity still, I think, is there. But do you feel like you're confident enough in your organization? You should be. Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, you got a bunch of grown-ups in the building. Bringing a guy like that in, it's interesting. That's a name I haven't thought about. Are the Nets willing to move off him, and how much would that take? How much are you willing to part with? A couple first-rounders? James Wiseman, Moses Moody, is that going to get it done? Is that intriguing enough if you're the Brooklyn Nets? We'll see. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570 is the number. Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. Do the Warriors need to make a move now that the Western Conference favorites, according to Vegas, are now residing in Phoenix, Arizona? Also, that's where the Super Bowl is going to be. Well, it's in Glendale, but it's in Arizona. All the action happening in Arizona this week. They've got to be loving it. Warriors fans not loving that loss last night to the Portland Trailblazers, 125-122. We'll hear more from that game on the other side. And again, breaking down all the trade deadline action all day right here, 95.7 The Game. Don't go anywhere. Download the Odyssey app, favorite 95.7 The Game. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni. Come on back. 95.7 The Game.
It's the red and gold aftermath on 95.7 The Game.
But I also see Shanahan's side. I am not going to get outraged over this. We lost, guys.
Right.
We lost. Yeah, I'd love to have Jimmy Garoppolo suited up. He wasn't. We lost.
So
I hate to break it to everybody, but sometimes you just got to swallow it.
Brought to you by Zenni, the official eyewear of the San Francisco 49ers. Shop from over 3,000 styles at 80% off retail prices. Exclusively at Zenni.com.
If you're considering remodeling your home in 2023, talk with your architect or designer about utilizing Golden State Window and Door for your upcoming project. Each location across the Bay Area features beautifully planned displays. You'll be surprised by the variety of styles. Their respected partners include Anderson, Milgard, Marvin, and many other top brands. For locations, images, and more, visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Since 1954, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Hey, Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Spilled your milkshake? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading Ordinary brand. So you can get back to your milkshake.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Fast just got a whole lot faster. Xfinity has the fastest internet with up to 6 gig speed. Plus, Xfinity Mobile is the fastest mobile service with 5G and millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. You heard that right. Xfinity just increased internet speeds again. And Xfinity Mobile gives you can't-catch-me speeds. The fastest internet, the fastest mobile service, and major savings? Can't argue with the facts. Now through March 21st, new customers can get started with 1.2 gig internet with unlimited data included. It's all just $50 a month for 2 full years with no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/faster, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni, RIP Eddie Money. 2 tickets to paradise. Sure, that's what Kevin Durant and TJ Warren are feeling. They booked their flights to Phoenix, Arizona, as Kevin Durant is now a Phoenix Sun. The Suns part with Bridges, Johnson, Crowder, 4 first-round picks in exchange for Kevin freaking Durant and TJ Warren. KD, man. What a career that guy's had ever since leaving the Thunder. It's been the highest of highs and lowest of lows. A foot on the line away in Brooklyn of going to the finals and facing this Suns team that he is now on. He was that close, a foot on the line. And how so much can change, for better or for worse, He is now a Phoenix Sun. That shifts the balance of power around the association. The Warriors, is there a move out there? I was just talking to Joe Shasky. He's fired up in the green room, and he's going to be joined, and him and Bonte are going to be joined by Tim Kawakami in studio from 8 to 9. You're not going to want to miss that. Talk about all the trade deadline moves, acquisitions, Super Bowl, 49ers, everything with Tim Kawakami, the legend. If you're blocked by him, well, go on YouTube, and you can watch there and see if he can see your comments. And I don't think he can block you on YouTube through our things, but I never know. He is one of the elite blockers on Twitter. But Phoenix now has the second best odds to win it all. They have the second best odds. Can the Warriors make a move? Is it Jay Crowder? And Shasky was mentioning it. I would try to call for Mikal Bridges, the guy that they just traded to Brooklyn. I don't think the Nets are going to be answering that call. I think he's part of their future. Him, Cam Johnson, those guys are young. Try to extend them, build around them. Ben Simmons, I saw someone mention that on the text line, on the YouTube chat. And you can always hit me up at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Xfinity mobile text line. What's the move? Is this just not the Warriors' year? Are we giving the Suns too much credit? All those are reasonable questions. 415, I like this. Xfinity mobile text line. What if the Warriors counter the Suns trade with LeBron James? Stop. I think that Russell, Vanderbilt, Beasley trade, getting Westbrook out of there, probably keeps him around. Also, I don't think LeBron's going anywhere. I think he's finishing his career with the Lakers. I think he loves making the movies down in Los Angeles. And I'm looking at that trade right now. The Jazz received Westbrook, Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, first-round pick. Minnesota Timberwolves received Mike Conley Jr., Alexander Walker, and second-round picks. So that was the first domino to take place. Then you had the Jakob Poeltl going to Toronto deal, and then the big whammy last night, Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns. And a guy that you hate and hope that you would never win a title. Well, those title chances just increased dramatically, and that is CP3 and Chris Paul. We love to hate him around here, but you can't hate his game. Future Hall of Famer. Now you got two of them. Hell, they're probably all future Hall of Famers because everyone gets into the Basketball Hall of Fame anyways. But it's a hell of a lineup. It's a hell of a starting lineup. And I'm just looking at what the Warriors have done this season. And maybe everything changes in the playoffs. And you just get one series and see how they match up against each other. And they will suffer defensively. Me and Shasky were talking about this too in the green room. Bridges is a hell of a defender. And he does wonders against the Warriors. Seems like he always shows out against them. But it is Kevin freaking Durant. You know who I am. And when you got a chance to get that guy, when you're the new Phoenix Suns owner, Matt Ishbia, taking over for Robert Sarver, that sleazebag, and you're trying to ingratiate yourself to a fan base, you make a big splash like this, it's a hell of a way to do it. It's a hell of a way to do it. And he was introduced Wednesday as the new majority owner, by the way. And his big thing was, we're going to win together. Well, sounds good to me right now, Matt, if I'm a fan. 650, nobody on the Suns can stay healthy ever. Okay. Who's healthy right now in the West? Not the Warriors. Not the Warriors. Your best player, the torn up knee right now. Now he should be coming back, hopefully. But his tibiofibular ligament is torn in his interosseous membrane. So we'll wait to see on that. But if you're going to use health as a reason, that's not good enough for me. I can't use past things that happened to Chris Paul and try to project that in a few months. Could it happen? Sure. Will it? I don't know. There's a correlation and causation aspect to there I'm not so sure about. But 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. NKB on the YouTube chat, in order to get Ben Simmons, you can't have Wiggins on the roster because of their contracts. It's a good point, too. The contract aspect of this, the Warriors are hamstrung. And I'm not giving up Andrew Wiggins for Ben Simmons. No way, no how. No matter how up and down he's been this season, adductor strain, being sick, he seems like he's getting back into rhythm. That defense, saw a lot of effort plays last night, him getting back, him having a quick steal, layup, stuff like that. Liking what I'm seeing from Andrew Wiggins lately. If he can just continue to build off that and look similar to the all-star we saw early last year, the all-star caliber player we saw earlier this year before the adductor strain, and the baller he was in the playoffs, I feel great and better about my chances against the Phoenix Suns. But right now, Suns are a step ahead. They're a step ahead. From the YouTube chat, always blessed. We need a good defensive coach to replace Mike Brown. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to do it. I mean, Ron Adams, he's still around there, right? Like, he is the defensive guy. So I wouldn't be too worried about the Warriors' defense as it pertains right now. I understand it's a problem, and you're just trying to get into the playoffs and not be in the play-in game, and it's a concern because you see all these other teams around you getting better. Lakers, say what you will, they got better yesterday. D'Angelo Russell, yeah, he is what he is. Shooting damn 40% from three-point land this year, and the Warriors just saw him, and he was being clutch as hell in that fourth quarter, and was a big reason they won in overtime in Minnesota. Yeah, it was a gag job. You're controlling that game for the most part. He's a hell of a player. And Vanderbilt, solid defender, young guy, Beasley, can shoot a little bit, so they got better. And as addition by subtraction, I am so glad Russell Westbrook, I mean, if you're a Warriors fan, you're not glad because you love seeing them fail constantly down the stretch with Russell Westbrook trying to take over. But Russell Westbrook, my God. Just so much toxicity around that guy. And I'm seeing links to the Clippers being interested. If you're the Warriors, you're sure. You guys think you're championship like contenders? Go take Westbrook and see what happens. That guy is so toxic. He's like that candy toxic waste. That's what he is. He goes into any locker room. Hell, he's trying to fight Darvin Ham the other day. Have you seen Darvin Ham's face? I would not mess with that man. He looks like Debo from Friday, Darvin Ham. I would not mess with him. And Russell Westbrook, you see all the memes, the fake tough guy trying to go out our Bonte Hill. Get out of here, Russ. Sick of that guy. I hope he stays in Utah. We got one more segment. We got the crossover coming up next. Joe Shaz's going to join me. He's going to give me his thoughts. Again, Tim Kawakami joining the morning roast. Cannot wait for that. In studio from 8 to 9 o'clock, they'll be breaking down all the trade deadline news. And we're going to be breaking down all the trade deadline news leading up to the trade deadline. 12 o'clock, Willard Dibbs with Steiny and Goo at the crosstalk. Cannot wait for all that action. Will the Warriors make a move? Excuse me. The Phoenix Suns already did. They made the move of the season. They made the move of the week. They're stealing all the Super Bowl shine. The NBA's hot right now, and it's in Phoenix, Arizona, as Kevin Durant is headed there. One more segment, crossover coming up next. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Kate, you look amazing. Thanks. I've lost 40 pounds with Balanced Medical Solutions. They have many options, but semaglutide was a good fit for me. What's semaglutide? It's the new FDA-approved weight loss medication that celebrities are raving about. Oh, yeah. Do you think it'll work for me? You can find out during an evaluation with labs at Balanced Medical Solutions. They'll help identify the root cause of your weight gain. I'm ready. What's their number? 510-679-3300 or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
Individual results may vary.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code TRUST at checkout. That's harrys.com, code TRUST. Enjoy.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the potty. Less is more, so roll it back, everybody. Roll it back. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Bud Light was brewed to be a delicious and easy-to-drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard. Like when the game is going into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it, and a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Drink responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
It's the Red and Gold Aftermath on 95.7 The Game.
And so here are the 49ers getting universal praise, Ray, for their hiring of Steve Wilks. They like it. They love it. And the media wants more of it.
Brought to you by the SF Sheriff's Office. Your future begins here. Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. The crossover in mere moments as Joe Shasky joins me for a little crosstalk. Tim Kawakami joining the morning roast in studio from 8 to 9. Cannot wait for that as we're breaking down the NBA trade deadline up until said deadline at 12 o'clock today. It'll be on Willard Dibbs, Steiny and Goo when it culminates, so you're not going to want to miss that crosstalk. It's always fun for other ways, but especially now that we have Kevin freaking Durant heading to the Phoenix Suns as Joe Shasky joins me here for the crossover. And Joe, your initial thoughts, were you asleep? Like me trying to go to sleep and then my phone just wouldn't shut the hell up?
So, well, the dog started barking. Oh my God, my dog Leo. Like as he gets older, he's more whiny than ever.
Oh boy!
And the little dog takes up all the inventory on the bed, and she's like one of the kinds that like she'll literally be biting through the covers if you move your feet.
Oh God!
She's one of those dogs. So Leo
thinks
wants
you're playing kind of thing, and it's just like, and then just
no,
bite.
it's she's territorial. It's crazy.
Oh God!
It's crazy. Point being, the dog was whining because he wanted to get real estate next to my wife, which is the safest part of the bed so he doesn't get bit by the other dog.
Okay.
I wake up in the morning, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to kill this dog. You know, you get up, you lean over, you grab your phone. I look, and it's Nash Solomon saying, here we go.
Former producer here and host at 95.7 The Game.
One of my dear friends, so I'm going to go visit. Nice. Wake up, KD! And I'll insert Rick James. Ha 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 ha! Haters gonna hate me more.
Peak now. I read that in his voice, by the way. I heard it in his voice. Just, it's unreal. And listen, if you're a Suns fan, absolutely you can flex on this. It's a huge deal. Like this is a massive. This is Kevin freaking Durant, one of the top 5 players in the NBA, top 15 player all time, however you want to shake it, one of the greatest scorers, and we know him well here in the Bay Area.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. And you couple him with the future Hall of Famer and Chris Paul, one of the best young players and shooters in the game, and Devin Booker, and a beast in DeAndre Ayton. That is the Western Conference favorite right now.
Yes, and they were willing to do a deal that I thought where they get, like Mikal Bridges. Let's talk about him for a second. I love Mikal Bridges. I think he is a perfect role player on a championship team. He makes $20 million, so he's a good piece in terms of like financial flexibility to flip for a superstar. He's young enough and plays great defense, can hit the three, can facilitate a little with the ball, not a lot, but a little enough. Like, I love him as a player. They're missing a big piece. Like, when you trade him away, you're losing part of your perimeter defensive identity. Yes. But it's Kevin Durant.
You know who I am.
Right?
Like, he's that dude.
But like, that's, I think when I see all these Warrior trades, what really drives me crazy is I see so many people are mad, they're screaming and they're yelling, and you have to line up the contracts in the NBA. I think it's the hardest of any sport to actually execute a trade, because when you absorb a bad contract, you got to absorb a bad contract, and it's stuck and it's guaranteed. And to match up these numbers, depending on how your roster is constructed, it can be difficult. Now, Warrior fans, right? I'm looking at the Warriors. You can't have it both ways. You cannot sit here today and lose your mind about the Warriors not making a trade for a significant piece, not a role player, a significant piece, if you don't want to move off of Wiggins, Clay, Draymond, or Curry.
Yeah. No, if you want to play with the big boys, it takes some of you giving up a young future piece or an older future piece. Like, that's just what it comes down to.
You have to give to get.
Exactly. Thank you. I couldn't find the words for it. And that's perfect. And that's what the Suns did with Bridges. Hey, Johnson, these guys are young. We get it. But you know what?
And I like Cam Johnson. He's hurt right now. Yeah, he's a nice player, too.
He's like, but you know what? I'm trying to win a freaking title.
Exactly.
I have a new owner who just got introduced as majority owner, Matt Ishbia of the Phoenix Suns. You know a guy here in Joe Lacob, very similar.
Yes.
I'm trying to win and hang a freaking banner. We have never won one. We have come close many times. Charles Barkley, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire. Hell, a couple years ago against Milwaukee, you thought you had it. You were up in that series, and you were so freaking close. And then, you know what? Injuries, it happens. And then last year, I think, was just a wake-up call for that team. Getting blown out in the playoffs at home. You didn't have a chance against the Luka Doncic-led Dallas Mavericks. Like, that was embarrassing, Shasky. That's an embarrassing loss. And then so much has happened since then. Obviously, the new ownership, Robert Sarver, gone. But for them to come back and say, you know what, we're putting all our chips. I respect the move. I respect the move of going out and Kevin Durant. Now,
I think it's a great move for them.
Did Bob Myers call? Did the Nets were like, you know what, we're just going best available. I don't give a damn what Kevin freaking Durant wants. He wanted to leave last offseason anyways. I don't give a damn about these guys, what Kyrie Irving wants. I don't give a damn. I just want the best package. Were the Suns, was that always going to be the best package? I'm very interested to see how much like the Warriors were interested in bringing Kevin Durant back. That's what I want to know.
I just think that if you got to take a step back, Mikal Bridges is a very desirable piece.
He is.
They attached the 4 first-rounders. I believe they're staggered because you can't have them back-to-back.
I believe so. I'll get it. More. 2023, 2025, 2027, 2029.
Yeah, so they're all staggered, which is, because you can't, I don't think you can trade away.
And a 2028 pick swap.
Yeah, back-to-back picks. Anyway, point being, it's a great move for them. They've got a guy in Booker who, one of the best perimeter players in the league. Just, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you've added Kevin Durant. Now those two alone, forget CP3 and Ayton for a second. Those two alone, that's a deadly, lethal video game-like combination.
Yes.
I mean, you're talking about two ISO killers who can play with and without the ball. Like, easy money sniper can easily catch and shoot on the perimeter. And then you add in, whatever your feelings are about CP3, whether he could still score, whether he could bring it night to night, whether he gets hurt all the time. He's a great facilitator. He's an all-time facilitator. Now he's got two of the better perimeter players in the league who can score. You've got a great facilitator who's super smart. And then you add in DeAndre Ayton. This is a great team. It's a great move for them.
It's a great move. And according to Vegas, again, they have the second best odds now to win the whole freaking thing. And again, we're going to be taking all your calls here today. 888-957-9570.
It's a gutsy all-in right now move
gutsy,
from them.
and you know what?
And I think it's a smart move.
It's a smart move, and that's just what you want in sports right now. Like, I was so tired of this parody. I need a good team, Shasky. I need one of these teams. I don't care about the Nuggets. I'm sorry. I know what the Nuggets are, Shasky. They're a team that's going to blow it in the playoffs because of their defense. I don't believe in Jamal Murray. Jokic is a hell of a player.
I don't believe in the Nuggets.
I don't believe in the Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm with
I
you.
don't believe in the Clippers either, and they look like they might be adding freaking Russell Westbrook. You heard my rant last night.
I know.
Please. They just lost to the Luka-less Doncic. Freaking
and I don't believe in the Kings yet.
Come on.
I think the Kings can win a series or two, but I don't think I can win 3. And the team that I thought quietly had a great day was the Lakers. They got better. Now, I don't know how much better. Like, that is to be determined.
Addition by subtraction with Westbrook being off that team.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
like Vanderbilt, too.
Vanderbilt's a good young player. D'Angelo Russell, we know what he is at this point. Warriors fans know what he is.
But he's a good catch-and-shoot guy off the ball of LeBron.
And he's going to be the third option. Like, you didn't know when he was with Anthony Edwards. Like, is he the guy? No, Anthony Edwards, that's his team now.
Yes.
Like, we all know that. Karl Anthony Towns, I don't think they're winning anything with him if he's going to be a focal point of their offense and team. I'm just not a believer in Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's soft.
No, I'm not saying that the Lakers are contenders. I'm saying I think it got better. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
I'm thinking
they absolutely got better.
Yeah.
No. That's,
you get what I was saying?
Yes, absolutely. And the playing game, definitely they have a chance.
Well, that's a team that the Warriors are going to have to compete with down the stretch.
That's the point. They got
and we
better.
get to see them Saturday.
Yes, exactly. And I can't wait for that's going to be a fun game. Obviously, can't wait till Stephen Curry comes back to see all this shakes out. But right now, it's the Suns, and everyone is just a step behind. And I know the record says otherwise, but yeah.
Well, and look, is there a huge caveat of these players on the Suns? These guys have gotten hurt a lot. Yeah, of course that's a huge caveat. Health is a caveat for every team. Now, maybe more so for the Phoenix Suns because of CP3 at the helm.
Sure.
And I'll buy into that, but you have to give them their just due. Like right now, on paper, they look really formidable.
Yes.
Right? And now let's take a step back if you're a Warrior fan, right? Like, they got to trade every young player. Like I've seen it on the text line already. The panic is unreal. Here's a great example. Like I just want to make sure that like when you call in today and when you voice yourself, let's just you got to be reasonable and realistic, okay? I saw someone say, where's the trade here? Boom, boom, boom. All right. I want to trade Moody, Wiseman, and picks for Rudy Gobert. That doesn't add up. Like the money doesn't add up. Let's be realistic. Now, I said to you that the Nets right now are selling, and Jay Crowder is making, I think, $10 million a year right now, right? People want to get Jay Crowder. Hey, I'd love to have Jay Crowder right now. You got to match up the salaries. Yeah. I think it'd be kind of an overpay because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And so I would much rather pay even more and try to get me Mikal Bridges. He's making $20 million a year. Now, to line up the salaries, you'd have to trade Wiseman, Moody, and I don't even know if they can attach them to a trade because there are rules, but the trade machine on NBA, ESPN.com says it works. And I'd give away Ty Jerome, plus future picks to get Mikal Bridges. You get a young perimeter defender. He can guard 1s and 2s and 3s. He can knock down 3s. He fits the ethos of what the Warriors want. He's a win now. He's under team control for multiple years. He's what you were hoping Moody would eventually grow into some, lesser version of what Mikal Bridges is.
No, absolutely. The problem is, I think if you're the Nets, you're looking at that guy like, hey, we're rebuilding. Like that's one of the pieces for the future.
Yeah, you got to blow them away.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know if that package does that.
Exactly, and that's the problem with the whole James Wiseman thing at this point. Like, where are you with him, Chassie? Because he's a name that's going to be floated out for the next 6 hours now as we're getting closer to the trade deadline. Sam's fired up. Sam Lubin, producer extraordinaire. That guy's as serious as it gets right now when his NBA trade gets going. But James Wiseman, like, what are you going to do with him? Because at this point, the way I feel is they're just going to get like a second-round pick and like some role. Like, just see what you got in him. Like, keep him. Now, John Hollinger of The Athletic, he was talking about if they keep him, and the luxury tax payments is going to end up being like $130 million for the salary this year, next year.
Just for a second on that. Yeah. He's using Wiseman as an example, and yes, there is a luxury tax ramification, not because of Wiseman, because of the totality of all of their contracts and everyone going over.
I'm framing it as it's just James Wiseman.
That's what I'm saying. But it's making it out like he's costing them. It's the same thing we did with Kelly Oubre. Well, when you brought in Kelly Oubre, it actually cost you $80 million. Well, everyone on the roster costs you X amount more because you're over the luxury tax.
Long story short, what do they do with Wiseman?
This is a great question. Like, do they need a piece right now to help them? Like, who's sitting here watching a one win over 500 team saying, they couldn't use more help? As I watch Ty Jerome get abused in the paint down the stretch, and Kerr's infatuation with him is just mind-boggling. Like,
that was such a bad final stretch.
There's a couple things that could be true simultaneously. I want them to make a move because windows are short, and I want to give this team a one last run, an opportunity. There just might not be a move out there that can impact them enough that justifies trading them. You don't just trade to trade, right? Like you just don't do that, right? But that being said, like this just might not be their year. I know Warrior fans don't want to hear that, and I'm not even ready to concede that just yet. Like I'm not. You got to play this thing out. But it just might not be their year.
No, it's a good point.
I mean, people don't want. The Spurs are considered one of the great franchises in the last 30 years. They won 5 titles throughout a 15-year run?
I don't think they ever went back-to-back, am I mistaken? Never.
No.
Yeah.
But and that was unique
yes.
and special, okay? We've won 4 championships. Am I satisfied? To some degree, yes. Do I want more? Of course I want more. We all want more. We want to win as many as we can.
Yeah,
Larry Bird won 3.
Yes.
He's one of the greatest players the game's ever seen.
Yes.
Right? So you have to be appreciative of what we have seen thus far. Let's see what happens the rest of the year. Maybe they make a move. Let's go. But it's not the end of the world. And the front office is not failures if they don't execute a trade.
Please. But I think there's a lot of desperation right now as we wrap up the cross over here. You're starting to see it maybe. The Bob Myers might be leaving. The team's getting older. Teams like the Phoenix Suns getting better. I think a lot of Warriors fans are feeling the heat right now. This team's just not good. And I get it. But again, to your point, you just want a freaking title. It's okay if you don't win it this year. I know you don't want to hear that on the NBA trade deadline day. Yeah. You want to be a good player. But that's Joe Shasky. He's going to have a lot more to talk about next with Bonte Hill. Tim freaking Kawakami, the blocker, as I like to call him. He's coming up in studio from 8 to 9 o'clock. You're not going to want to miss that. They'll be talking NBA trade deadline all day right here on 95.7 The Game.